afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who is, I think, been showing exemplary patience here in Derndingle as we continue to set Fangorn Forest to rights here. Oh, I forgot my presents. I almost never forget my presents. Let's see. A random relic pack. All right. And a massive pile of gold scraps. How delightful. Okay. Anyway, so we are ready. The goal today, we want to finish setting Fangorn more or less to rights. We're gonna skip the dailies. What was it? Okay, I've got two Fangorn entries here. Yes, the quieting ones. That's exactly the ones we're gonna skip. Where were those instances? Stangraph and whatnot. Where is show in quest log? Yeah, that one. Oh, right. West Rohan resource instances. That's inspiring. But yeah, we'll give those a shot and see how those goes. If those are too tedious, I might skip them. But we'll give them a shot and see what happens. But first, Carnimírië seed. I am doggedly determined to finish with Carnimírië, as I love that reference to Quickbeam's song. And we've, we've taken care of the others, so we might as well finish taking care of Carnimírië, though I cannot help but think that Quickbeam is showing rather more solicitousness for Carnimírië than for the others. But, Hologrose says his early prediction is I'll do one resource instance and then move on. Yeah, possibly. I'll try to pick the one that I think sounds like most fun. Okay, but anyway, Carnimírië seed first. Where am I going? I am okay. Hang on, no, I'm not gonna quiet anything. Okay, yeah, but I am going to gather clumps of mossy soil. That was it. Okay, clumps of up by Wellinghall, of course it is. Okay, no problem. So let's do it. See, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? That dressing up as an orc is actually gonna, protect me from mobs in Fangorn. You wouldn't think that would work round here, you know? Like, one wonders why the bugs would care in the first place. But, whatever. Okay, hang on a second. Whoa there, carry on. Tony has a question. Tony says, why did the Ents choose to fight the dwarves after the sacking of Menegroth, but aren't mentioned as being involved in other major events that might have affected them more directly? Why choose that moment to intervene of all the ones they could have? Really good question. Okay, why did the Ents intervene? Why did they attack the dwarves after Menegroth? They could have done lots of other things. So first of all, Phil, I don't think that we can safely conclude that they didn't do anything else. I think they might have done, because, okay, as always, there's more than one way to answer the question, right? There are always two ways to answer any Tolkien question, especially when we're talking about the Silmarillion. And that is the question, thinking of C.S. Lewis's Meditations in a Toolshed, the looking at or looking along ways of doing it. When you're looking, it's from that wonderful metaphor that C.S. Lewis makes in his essay, where he talks about being in a dark tool shed, which has, cracks in the walls and stuff, and so beams of sunlight come in. So when you're standing in the dark and a beam of sunlight from outside is coming in, and if you stand in the dark and look at the sunbeam, you see the sunbeam, right? You see the sunbeam and you see, dust motes floating in it and all that kind of thing. But when you look along it. Like when you step into the sunbeam and you put your eye to the sunbeam and you look along the sunbeam, you can see, like the world outside the shed, right? You don't see, and the darkness, you don't see the darkness at all, right? And there are several things that he connects this to. It's a really, really interesting meditation, but it's extremely useful and applicable for discussing, for talking about how we look at Tolkien's works, because because I very often think of it here, because when we look at the sunbeam itself, right, that's like looking at Tolkien's process, right? Tolkien's process of writing, his material, right? So we can either look at it we can either look at any question from the perspective of contemplating, like, so especially like a lot of people ask questions that start with the word why, right? Like, why did this? So like, again, Tony, considering your questions, right? Like, why didn't the Ents intervene in any other events apart from that one, right? After the dwarves had attacked Menegroth. And there's a looking at answer and there's a looking along answer, right? The looking at answer means like looking at the process of Tolkien's, like considering the sunbeam itself and not using the sunbeam, like the light from the sun, to see out, right? That answer, so that means looking at it from the perspective of Tolkien's writing. And the answer to the why question there is simply because he hadn't invented the Ents yet. The Ents are a very late addition. He had already written, basically the whole Silmarillion. I paused before finishing that sentence, you'll notice, because of course Tolkien never wrote the Silmarillion. Okay, no, that's not true. There was one point in his life when he was rewriting the Silmarillion, and that was 1937, right after The Hobbit was published, and he was convinced that he was going to get to publish the Silmarillion as the Silmarillion. But that was one of the only times, maybe to some extent in the early 50s, when he was trying to maneuver Allen and Unwin to publish the Silmarillion and the Lord of the Rings together. But anyway, mostly, of course, he was writing all of those different stories and legends and myths and poems and collections of lore, which were later gathered together and published as the Silmarillion. But anyway, the point is, when Tolkien was working, he had done almost all that stuff before Ents were invented. They were an extremely late invention. He didn't even know about the existence of Ents when he, wrote the first half of the Lord of the Rings. Indeed, he didn't even know about the existence of Ents when he was in Lothlorien with the company. Like, it was when Merry and Pippin showed up. When Merry and Pippin showed up in Fangorn and they met Treebeard, that's when he discovered Ents. It happened almost spontaneously, and it happened very quickly. So again, it's very late. So we're talking about like the late 40s, and everything he had written in the decades prior to that had no idea that Ents existed. Like, they were not a glimmer in his mind. And so that's why the Ents aren't in any of the other stories. Now, would he have included them in more stories? Quite likely. Quite likely. Had he completed the total overhaul and revision of the legends of the First Age that he was contemplating, yes, I believe that he certainly would have included the Ents more, but he never got a chance to. He didn't complete doing it. So that's the looking at answer. Looking at the sunbeam. Looking along the sunbeam. Yeah, so Phil, yes, you're right. The name Treebeard was originally going to be an evil giant that captured Gandalf in the first draft of the Fellowship of the Ring. Yes, the question, Tolkien didn't know the answer to the question, why didn't Gandalf show up when he was supposed to show up? Where was Gandalf when Frodo was looking for him? And the answer, he didn't know the answer to that question. And so the giant Treebeard was going to be one of those. But again, this is not the Ent. He wasn't imagining that like Treebeard the Ent was originally going to be evil. That was not at all the point. The point is he was just going to be a giant, like a Jack and the Beanstalk giant, like a huge human-shaped creature, right? Again, like Jack and the Beanstalk. And his name was going to be Treebeard. But that's the only connection that he has to the actual Treebeard that we know and love. So the name was there, but the concept was not there at all. Would he have had a beard literally made of trees? No, I don't think so. But Gandalf used remember, it's still in the book. Right, the hobbits talk about those tree men, those giants, as you might call them. Sam talks about this. And by tree men, they just mean men as big as trees, not men made of trees, right? Or like trees that walk like men or something like that. That idea hadn't come to him yet. When he wrote that originally, he just meant men the size of trees. He uses that phrase once in his notes about some of the adventures that Eärendil might have, the ones he never wrote. Anyway, yeah, so it was only, and that's kind of the beautiful thing, and I love that. I just love this idea that he had this idea like these tree men, right? Which again, I get he was using that phrase like totally metaphorically, right? Like they're as tall as trees, men as tall as trees, and then he gets to Fangorn, right? Merry and Pippin get to Fangorn, and then all of a sudden it's like, no. Tree men, boom, and then like the vista opens, right, and Treebeard the character emerges, and it's so cool, right? So cool. Anyway, all right, so here's Quickbeam. We did it. Time passes. Yeah, you're telling me. Good, and now what? Oh, he's thought of it. Okay. Good thing he's so hasty. No, you're just trying to give me busy work now, Treebeard. Whoa.
You are far from home.
The seed is ready to grow some more, but to do so it needs soil filled from the bark of trees. Oh, come on. You're reaching now, Treebeard. You're reaching. A quest used to take hours for him to think of something? Oh, man. Okay. Fine. All right. No. I'm committed to the Carnimírië seed quest. I don't... Okay. Oh, but hey, at least it's up near Carnimírië seed, so fine. Okay. Gryfflet continues to run errands. It's like the Dunedain all over again, except Ents. Anyway, okay. So as I say, that's the looking at the sunbeam answer, right? That's the question from. That's the perspective from outside of Middle Earth. Now, from inside Middle Earth, when we look along the sunbeam, when we look along instead of looking at, and we consider it from inside the world of Middle Earth itself, what is the answer to the question of why don't the Ents intervene more often? And my answer to that is they probably did. There are comparatively few places where we actually see them. I mean, it's one of the few places where they enter into the stories, but that doesn't mean that they weren't involved. It just means that they were only involved, like, it's one of the few stories that we know about that they did get involved in. And it by itself suggests, some, a bunch of other things. Namely that, what does it suggest? Oh yeah, so it suggests a friendship, as shouldn't really be surprising to anybody. It suggests a friendship between the green elves and the Ents, right? So that by itself is interesting, right? And shows some ways in which they could be involved. So, for instance, this is why way back in season 2 of the Silmarillion film project, we were speculating. So you'll remember that the green elves got separated from the rest of the elves in the first place because Lenwë decided to stay. So the green elves were elves of the Teleri, of the third kindred of the elves, who set out from Cuiviénen. So they weren't Avari. They set out for Valinor. They really kind of meant to go. They wanted to go. But they didn't make it there. And the reason they didn't make it there is that they, along the way, kind of fell in love with Middle-earth and decided they wanted to stay, that they didn't want to go any further. They got to where they got to, and then they were like, yeah, we like it here. We're going to stay here, maybe wander around a little bit. We don't need to go to Valinor after all. We're content here. And so when in the film project, we did season 2 and we got to we got to Lenwë. I'm forgetting where I am in the easeful mead precisely. There we go. We decided that Lenwë met Treebeard. So we involved the Ents early on from that point. And so that whole, and the part that Treebeard talks about, his encounters with the early elves, we decided that was then. So the teaching the trees to speak, and the early friendship of, where basically we decided that Lenwë was going to help Treebeard, help the Ents to, kind of find themselves and learn how to speak. But also that the Ents would in turn help the green elves, right, to find a new relationship with and delight in Middle-earth, and so that they would decide to stay. Anyway, so that's one of the things that we were kind of speculating on. I don't doubt that Tolkien would have speculated on more and different things. I'm not sure if he had... if he had more time, exactly which things he would have maybe added them to. But, yeah. So that was really fun. Let me tell you more about Film in just a second. But I gotta talk to Quickbeam, get him thinking, Okay, what else you got for me, Quickbeam? The seed is ready to grow some more. But to do so, it needs soil filled with pebbles from the mountains. Of course it does. Carnimírië is picky, can I just say? Carnimírië, a little bit high maintenance, not gonna lie. Okay. So film. I don't want to just kind of throw that out there and not explain for people who have no idea what it is. Most of you do, I'm sure, but the film project, Silmarillion film project, is something I've been working on for a while. No, it's not an actual movie. It's an educational podcast and streaming series that I stream on the Signum Twitch channel and gets posted to my Tolkien Professor podcast feed as well. And the idea is that it's a theoretical adaptation, film adaptation of the Silmarillion. Oh, darn it, I mistimed my jump. We're planning out a serial TV show, just like the Amazon series, but we had this idea 6-7 years ago. We've been doing this for a long time now. The Amazon people totally copying us, just saying, and they're welcome to the idea. You know, I'm just saying, no critique of them. I'm just saying we totally have been doing it first. So the idea was for us to discuss and think about what it would be like to plan out in detail an adaptation of the Silmarillion, as if we were really going to produce it for a TV show. And this project has really kind of taken on a life of its own over the last 7 years. We've got a whole bunch of people who participate with us as planners and screenwriters and artists and composers. We now have not only planned out and mapped out and outlined the episodes for every season. For now, we're closing in on the end of season 5. Now we're up to the Dagor Bragollach. But we also have score elements for all of the seasons, and we have casting for everything, and we have a bunch of full scripts written now as well. It's really fun. So I've just loved doing it. I've learned so much. I have learned so much about the Silmarillion in the context of doing all this. Anyway, it's exactly. Belongsmon says, "Heck, I was even part of an elven choir." Yeah, Belongsmon, did you sing in the Oath of Fëanor? Oh man, that was so cool. I loved the Oath of Fëanor song. That was awesome. So anyway, definitely want to. I just wanted people to know that was happening. But anyway, like I said, so Tony, that's one example of what we were thinking of. But really, that's more of a question of our wanting to depict what Treebeard describes, about his interactions with the early elves. I don't know that the Ents would have necessarily had a lot more interactions with stuff, like that they would have participated in a lot more events than that the intervention with that dwarf army. And it makes sense because they were friends of the Green Elves. We know that. And the Green Elves themselves are not very involved in things. We know that Treebeard loved Beleriand. He sings a whole song about it. So we know that he loved Beleriand, and that he wandered around in it. And doubtless he, mourned it as it fell under the dominion of the orcs and everything. But what was he going to do? I don't think it's kind of Treebeard's way to, take up arms and come in and fight in the Nirnaeth Arnoediad or something like that. I don't see the Ents really joining in that kind of way exactly. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how many more of the events that are, I'm trying to think of Silmarillion stories, right? Other places where the Ents would get at least a cameo. And yeah, I'm not sure that they would. Exactly. Okay. Carry on. You're being probed here. Oh, okay. He thought of another errand to send me on.
You are
Okay.
far from home.
How many flavors of soil does Carnimírië need? Okay. Okay. Is there another path out of here? Can I go this way? Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Would they have been involved at Gondolin? No. Nargothrond? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I just don't see the Ents as a body, interacting in that kind of way. In the kind of way that gets them as a people talked about in the context of the major events, It's just not exactly how they roll. Okay. You're right, Kendall. It's true that it's not every day that a professional errand runner is there in Fangorn. So yeah, you're right. They are certainly availing them. Quickbeam is certainly availing himself of Gryfflet's services. No question. All right, let's see. Can I get up from here? Yeah, I think I'm on the right track now. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, JJ, exactly. They are kind of like the Druidine, wanting to do their thing and be left alone. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes, I don't see them being a part very often of the great stories for that reason. That doesn't mean there aren't more stories that could be told. I mean, like just about the Ents, right? If you wanted to add more stories, like the Lenway example that I gave, right? The one that we added for Silmarillion. Doubtless that sort of thing could be done. And maybe Tolkien would have chosen to do it. I don't know. Add more stories of that kind. But I don't know that he necessarily would have done. But yeah, as far as the existing stories are concerned, I doubt that very many of them would have seen much additional Endish intervention had the revision process actually come to something like some kind of completion. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, don't worry, Kendall. I'm getting the good pebbles. Only the best for... Oh, hang on. I'm going back to Derndingle. What is this? Amateur hour? Oh, wait, hang on a second. I forgot. I'm in the middle of absolute nowhere. Okay. Let's see. How do we get there from here? You know what? Shortcuts make long delays. If I run along the road, I can at least keep talking. So, let me go back to another question. Okay. Okay. Katriana is wondering about the song battle about between Finrod and Sauron. Was that something Tolkien had invented, or was he basing it on an older literary tradition of such battles? Yes, he was, actually. So let me give two answers, but I'm going to give you a different kind. This is not going to be a looking at and looking along pair of answers. First, I want to kind of look at... wait, no, I'm going to do it the other way around. First, I'll talk about the place where it comes from. I think, anyway. Do I think that Tolkien had an influence here? Yes, I do. Now, by the way, side note. There are a lot of people who tend to want to find an influence for everything, right? Like, I'm always a little bit puzzled when people who seem to operate on the premise that if Tolkien, or any author, frankly, wrote a thing, it has to have come from somewhere. Like, we must be able to find out where it came from. And so there's always this, like, I'm always getting these articles of, like, oh, look at this tree in Gloucestershire, which almost certainly inspired Old Man Willow, or something like that, right? Like, Tolkien must have seen this tree. You've seen those kinds of articles, right? Or like that one, like, church door that has two trees growing along each side, and they're like, oh, this is totally the inspiration of the gates of, the gates of Moria. And I'm like, oh, okay. But anyway, my problem is not like any objection to any particular theory about this. My reaction to this kind of thing is like why everybody is making, not everybody, but why so many people make that assumption from the beginning. Just because Tolkien wrote something or thought of something doesn't mean that he's necessarily taking it from somewhere or was inspired by a particular thing. It's a strange kind of set of assumptions about causality, literary causality. There's a lot of things that Tolkien just made up, that are in his world because that's how he thought, and it's the kind of stuff that he loved. But of course, sometimes it's because he loved things from elsewhere and incorporated them, of course, into his world. So sometimes there is definite influence involved. But I have a footnote about that too, and that is when there is clear influence, you can't just stop there. That is, when you can show or see that Tolkien was influenced by something else, you've not done anything yet, right? Or rather, you've only taken the very first step of thinking about something. Some people act like that's the end of the story, right? Oh, he took that from this. Okay, well, that's settled then. Right? Nothing is settled. Like, what are the similarities and differences? Like, just because it is similar to something that happens in another text or in, another tradition or something like that, or something in his life or experience or whatever it is. What did he do with it? What role does it play? Like, it's the beginning of the examination, right? Not the end in any way. But anyway, there is one here. But let me not make Quickbeam wait, even though he kind of deserves it.
Now and rest a while.
What? We've done all we can? No, I refuse to believe it. There must be some other kind of soil with which I could nourish Carnimírië's seed. I can't let go. Oh, shoot. I forgot to redeem my weaves. Okay, yeah, I've got some inventory issues which need to be addressed. Okay, all it needs to grow is time. Completed Carnimírië's seed, you know it. All right, woohoo! The Enternship. I love it. Drousnick. Yes, Gryfflet's Enternship. He's completed his Enternship. That's fantastic. No, I already planted the other 2 seeds, Edith. He didn't care about that at all. Like, I just chucked one of them into the ground up there in Isengard, right? And he was like, no, but like Carnimírië is like totally Quickbeam's favorite seed, right? Okay. Oh, no. I spoke way too soon. I'm supposed to go back now to these other ones?
Don't be giving your right name away like so.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm good with those. I already planted them. Forget about it. Forget about it. Okay. All right. Those are just repeatables and I'm done. I'm done. Okay. Let's do the resource instances before I get into any more trouble, before I make any more rash claims. Okay. Let's see. So let me go back to these instances here. So what are they again? I don't remember. Dirinfiriel or Dirinfiriel. There's along the banks of the swift water is a small lumber milling center. Oh, that's right. I who am not amenable to destruction by. He thinks I'm like saw proof, right? Because I'm not made of wood. Doesn't work that way. Maybe they're special saws. I don't know. Okay. Defeat the leader of the invaders in Gemyndsted. Okay. Prevent invaders from ruining or looting its long-lost secrets. Well, that's tempting for disreputable reasons. That is, I want to discover the secrets. And then Stangraph is no longer empty. It's a mine. Mines are boring. Leader of the Vandals. Guide of the wooded riverbank. Right, yeah, he knows I don't weigh the same as a duck, yeah. Oh, hey, you're right, I can enlarge the text in here, can't I? Oh, only there, huh? Okay. But I can't expand this window? Can't make this window any bigger? Okay, just have to scroll a lot? Fine. I think we'd better do the mill to test the theory as to whether or not Gryfflet is immune to saws. Oh, no, wait. Hologro. Is this the one? Is Gemyndsted a library? Okay. Done. I'm going to Gemyndsted. Besides, it's so much fun to say. I assume it's pronounced like Old English. The GE would be soft then. Like MYND certainly sounds like Old English. So Gemyndsted. Okay. All right, let's do it. So let's go to Gemyndsted. Woohoo! Vandals of the Lost Lore. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Lost inscriptions. I'm all about it. Okay, we're standing on flagstones. What manner of flagstones? Okay, the sun ones. Do we get the trees as well, or just the sun? Any sign of the Gondorian tree? Yeah, there it is. There it is. There's the Gondorian tree. Okay, so it's, are we on the map? No, not that map. Guess not. Okay. All right. Interesting flagstones to begin with. Okay, yeah, and look at this floor. Classic Gondorian ruin. These like rectangular pillars are kind of interesting. Look at that candelabra there. Again, very Gondorian. Okay, so we've got an old Gondorian ruin. Oh, yeah. In the side of a hill. Are we in a cave? Yeah, there's a roof over us. Okay, so in the side of a cliff in it. Oh, dear. Oh, that's not good. We just fell. The door was right there. But there's rubble. Am I meant to collect the rubble? What do I do with the rubble? I'm clearing it out. Look at me, with my little pickaxe. All right, look, that was some impressive work there. Into the ruins of Gemyndsted, ready to face the intruders you see ahead. I see intruders. Ready to avoid the intruders I see ahead. Look at how well preserved the stonework is here. They did good work. Ooh, look at that frieze work. The sun's so prominent. Huh. Thinking of home, I guess they were. Minas Honor, I mean. Okay, floor needs a good sweeping. Look at the details on those tiles. Almost elvish in pattern. Kind of like those tiles in the middle there. This sort of flowery shellwork things. Yeah, it does look a little bit like the tombs in Numenus. Ah, wargs, huh? Supposed to defeat 20 of them? Well, I'm sure that some of them will sniff me out. Collect weathered parchments. Well, I'll just look for the... See, well, I figured I'd end up in combat sooner or later. Okay. Alright, well, these guys aren't bad. Shouldn't be too much trouble. Okay. Let's see. Huh. Look at the candelabra. What a pain that must have been to light, right? Still lit, though, so obviously they did a good job. Like I said, don't really think the 20 enemies is going to be too much of a challenge. I mean, that is... I don't have to go out of my way to look for trouble. It'll find me, is what I'm saying here. Okay, and then... Am I dead? No. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right. No parchments, though. Ooh, a little swan tapestry. Oh, yeah. That's a classic. Little swan tapestry, some bookcases. All codex. All codices, huh? No scrolls? Is this a little sitting room? No? Just a little intersection. I thought this was a little nook down here. It is kind of a little nookish, isn't it? And the nice thing is this place is not massively massive. Like, it's not like one of those really depressing maps where, like, you go as far as I've come and you're, like, in one tiny corner of the map here. Like, this place isn't huge. Ooh, okay. All right, so... I can't help but ask a question. Quickbeam was concerned that the enemy was going to pillage the secrets of the library here in Gemyndsted. Does Quickbeam know that wargs can't read? I mean, maybe I'm making an assumption. Maybe these are, in fact, literate wargs. I'm trying to see something about these books here. What's on the cover? What is that design on the cover? Is that an urn, maybe? A crown? What do you think? Urn? Yeah, I see you. This warg certainly is not appreciating the literature. Okay. All right. Oh, I collected a parchment? How? How did I collect the parchment? From the warg? He was literate after all. See, I was wrong. Now I feel almost guilty taking it off him. I mean, don't wargs deserve an opportunity for self-improvement? Maybe they don't. What is this? Wow. First of all, look at that book. Is that a letter or just an illustration? Like I was wondering if that was a figured capital, you know what I mean? The one on the right-hand side, I think, is definitely an illumination. What a gorgeous manuscript. I wish I could see it in more detail. The one on the left looks a little Book of Kells, doesn't it? What do you think that design is supposed to be up at the top? It's like the wing design, like the swan wing design that we see in, or the raven wing design that we see in Gondorian architecture. But it's fanned out in an almost like peacockish sort of way. It does look a little bit like a crown. I don't know. That's interesting. We'll have to keep an eye out for that as we move down into Gondor. What an odd place. I mean, like, usually you want to protect books from the damp, so I don't know that I would be importing all of this water into my library. But I'm sure the ancient Gondorian librarians knew more than I do. Sorry, I'm looking at the design on the flower pots. What is that? Wings? Sunglasses? Mustache? That's just weird. Yeah, I agree. So let me weigh in on the discussion you guys have been having about the probability of Entish literacy. So I in Lotro, there's a quest where you're collecting pages from an Ent book. I agree. That does not seem to me very apt. I cannot imagine that Ents are literate. Why on earth would they need to be literate? In fact, there's active evidence that they're not literate. The memorized lists of lore that Treebeard sings, right? That's exactly like the mark of an oral culture, right? Look, I found a weathered parchment just lying around. Yeah, so I think it's quite well, okay. I was about to say the word certain and then I chickened out because that's a big word. But I think it's overwhelmingly likely that the Ents are not literate. Why would they need books? I'm preparing myself for the upcoming battle? Really? What, at the kitchen table? What's lower about oh, there's stairs there. Okay, it's not a kitchen table. We were reading. Okay. Well, hang on, let me finish this level first. Ooh, look at the floor design there. It's like the old swirlies. You know, at the Barrow Downs and such. What if it's deliberately inspired by those? It's more, it's less swirly and more concentric, right? But still, that's interesting. Anyway, yeah, I can't imagine them being a written culture. And I hear you about those people were saying like they wouldn't have books on paper because it would be like JJ, was it you who said that an Ent reading a book on paper would be like a person having a book made out of human skin, you know, because it's made out of wood pulp. And I hear that. I can agree with that. But of course, paper made out of wood pulp is only one of many options. And there's not much reason to think that they would necessarily be doing that. They could easily have even paper. Like you can have paper, a lot of paper, like in the 18th century, for instance, was based on rags rather than on wood. So yeah. Yeah. So I think that it's there's lots of, I mean, or it could be parchment, you know, which is based on, you know, papyrus. Basically, they could be using papyrus. So there's lots of tree-friendly paper options that they could use. So that doesn't bother me so much. No, it's just they wouldn't make books. It's just not them any more than elves make books. Elves only make books, you know, when it looks like the world is coming to an end. That is, in Gondolin, for instance. Okay. What is going on here? Do you guys seeing what I'm seeing? You see this bizarre decoration here? I can't make head or tail of this. It's a 7-pointed star. Pointing up. Exactly, JJ. This star is upside down. What is up with that? Why would that star point up? For those of you who are relatively recent friends of Gryfflet here, you may think like, well, isn't it normal for stars to be pointed up? Not Numenorean stars. The whole point of Numenorean stars is that they point down. They have one longer beam and it's pointing down. And because that is an explicit reference to Elena, the land of the star, Numenor itself. When Earendil shines down upon, and they follow the star of Earendil across the ocean until they find Numenor. So the downward pointing star with the long beam downwards, and you can see this go anywhere, go to Bree, go anywhere up in the old lands up there around the Shire. Look at any of the Numenorean ruins and you'll see these Numenorean stars all over the place, up in Arnor. And this is, it's a wonderful, certainly go up to a Numinous, right? You see it everywhere. That star, Dunedain star, is just classic. Like, that is the symbol, and they've been using it. Lotro's been using it since its very, very beginning, the very first the very first installment of Lotro. It was a very popular symbol. But I have exactly. DNS EQLM. That looks to me as weird as an inverted cross looks. I guess striking as an upside down cross. Exactly. Okay. Theory. I have a theory. I think it's a sign. Oh, look at the complicated mosaic on the floor right here. Huh. I think it's a sign of the fall of Gondor. Of the decline of Gondor, I mean. All of those downward pointing stars, most of those downward pointing stars, the vast majority, if you take all of the downward pointing stars that Gryfflet has observed and you kind of put them together, the vast majority of them were Arnorian. And look, here's a tomb. They're on the tomb. Good grief. Ah. And the branches, which we finally figured out. Oh, I don't remember who it was who suggested it, but yeah, that's got to be Oyolose. The branch of returning, the Numenorean symbol that they used to put on their ships, right? And they're all around the tomb. Right, so you carve the branches of Oyolose. So Oyolose was an evergreen plant, and the Numenoreans had a tradition, right, of taking a bough of Oyolose and having that bound to the prow of the ship when they set out. A woman would always, like the captain's wife, usually would bind it to the prow of the ship. And it was like not a protective charm exactly, but it was like a symbol, right, of their return, right, of the return. So, and this dude is set about with Oyolose here on his tomb. Like his tomb is a ship that's setting out to return. Also, like, notice how I thought this was about lore, and we've got this guy's bloody great tomb in the middle of it. See, again, suggests to me we're Gondor in decline here. Yeah. Gondor, like Numenor. I mean, Gondor, in one sense, didn't exactly fall. Right? I mean, it didn't have a complete collapse in the same way that Numenor did, right? I mean, Numenor, like, you know, when Numenor fell, it fell, right? But it did decline. It did decline, and it declined sort of morally before it declined, before its power waned. Like morally, it was already in a bad place before its power began to wane. You know, I'm inclined to think that it is meant to be botanical, this kind of fan thing. That it's supposed to look like somebody was suggesting an acanthus or something like that. Oh, sorry, I was saying the wrong word. You are absolutely right. Oyalose is Teniquetil, the mountain. No, sorry, Oyalaire. Sorry, Phil, you're absolutely right. I apologize. Thank you. I was misspeaking. Saying the wrong Quenya word. You know, it happens. Thank you for correcting me. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking the combination between the upward pointing stars and the really prominent tomb in that room, those are both signs, because we're told explicitly, like Faramir tells us, that that's a sign of the decline of Gondor. And we certainly learn about that in Appendix A. Not that this isn't gorgeous, because it is. Look at that. What is that? Wheat? It is. Wheat and roses. So the beauty and plenty of Gondor and those upward pointed stars. And there's a tree like such. I don't know if that's the white tree. It doesn't look like the others. I want a flashlight to see this side of it. But at the top of it, we've got a dude. Yeah. A dude. So again, we're remembering dead dudes. There's another dead dude over here. I mean, not an actual dead dude, like his corpse or something, but yeah. Yeah, it is a weird thing. It does kind of look like he's standing in a box. But right, the trees, those are like his sleeves, like his vestments coming down, right? Never seen anything like that before. It's really interesting. But yeah, I think that this was made in the pride and arrogance of Gondor. I think that that is unfortunately what we are seeing here. Okay. Man, I still need 3 parchments, huh? Oh, the final chambers of Gemyndsted. Ahead you hear the sounds of shuffling and rubble crumbling. Really? Oh, it's a very steep ramp. Okay, so there was a fountain. Now an underwater fountain. What was this, the refectory? No. Oh. Big room. Oh, look. It's those weird Wizard King statues we first saw in Enedwaith. Not exactly the same, though. Oh, they're two-sided. That's creepy. Like, I always find, like, 2 statues back to back with, like, the heads mingled, so it's like one big head with 2 faces. I always find that a little bit creepy. They're two-tone also, right? And the hats are different. Those little wings looking like big old bat ears are still similarly weird. Okay. All right. Well, this guy's over here in a little quiet reading nook. Hey, look. I love it when there's a parchment just lying on the ground. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Oh, another one. Sweet. Okay, fine. Maybe you're holding a parchment. I still don't know what the wargs are doing with the parchment. And I'm afraid that I'm, like, slaying some of the only orcs, or sorry, not orcs, wargs in Middle-earth who are, like, actually bent on, you know, personal and professional development. Okay. Set of stairs up? Where does that go? Okay. Hang on, I'll fight the dude. I guess I still do have 10 more I've gotta fight. Sooner or later. Again, I'm very pleased that this place is as small as it is. I mean, the whole... Oh, nice little mezzanine area. Oh, that's great. With a weathered parchment in it. It's the last one I need. Gonna have to off this guy, though. Oh, man. He turned around just before I could get an advantage on him. It's about to stab him from behind from stealth and didn't pan out. Okay. Oh, and I got a parchment from the dude, and so don't even get to pick up the parchment I was going to try to pick up. That's okay. Okay, what am I supposed to do with the parchments now, though? Do I give them to Treebeard? Or Quickbeam, rather? Okay, now this is great. I would have loved sitting up here. Cool view. Right next to the conjoined heads of those statues. Huh. Look at their faces. Are those even humans? Look at the hollow, dead eyes of that statue. It's a little creepy, however you look at it. Looks like Skorgrim, yeah. I hear you. A little tall and skinny, but... Oh, I love these kind of... there should be like a table, or better, a beanbag chair in the middle of that little nook of... I used to love little private places like that in libraries. Okay, I think that's the door I came in. Isn't it? No, it's the other one. Well, this is a wonderful reading room. I just love this room. Is this... No, it's a cliff over here. Doesn't mean I can't jump off it, but... I mean, combat with somebody again. Oh, him, I guess. Take your time. Gryfflet will await you patiently. Okay, so all of that text was leading me to believe there was going to be some kind of like major boss battle, but it's just like more wargs down here. Okay, so we've got a statue and some lovely benches. And then, okay, right, the cozy little underneath reading areas. Huh, and the one angled shelf. Oh, there's a dude. Okay. I didn't get a quest for him. Maybe if I approach, it'll give me a quest. I mean, I kind of feel honor bound to fight the boss. And maybe he is the head warg librarian. Again, I'm feeling guilty. All right, let's see. Let's have some food. Oh, the quest to kill the boss. Oh, I've got it. Defeat the leader of the invaders. I didn't even see it. Okay, fine. And I only need 4 more. Is it possible to aggro just one of them? Probably not. All right. I'm keeping an eye on my morale, which I normally forget to do, but I'm attempting to not to forget. Oh, yeah. Boom. All these adorned chests. Okay, so this library is a good... It's a resource quest for if you're a scholar, basically. Okay. All right. Look at that. Gryfflet survived. So yeah, that's the swans. I've always thought that was, you know, they're the companions to this. They're setting up this, which I think is Isildur, right? Landing on the southern coast. This image is like, you know, yeah, out of the sea to Middle Earth I am come. Okay. I just need 2 more wargs on the way out, right? No problem. There are plenty. 2 of them will probably attack me on the way out. Let's see how far I can get. Well, that's not so bad. But see, if we think about where we are, think about how far we are. Ooh, did I come here? Oh no, I did. It's just the bottom of the. What do you think those pedestals were for? What do they have on those pedestals? There's nothing there now. Urns? Potted plants? Oh, that's just a bench, you think? Okay. Oh, yeah. No, I know I could leave the instance if I wanted, but I haven't quite finished it yet. Oh, the broken bridge means I can't get back to the entry door. Right. Wow. Alright. I'll just get these two wargs up here by the door. I forgot about that. The broken bridge thing. Which was dramatic and unexpected. Okay. Hooray! I did them all. Completed Gemyndsted. Let's see. Since I'm here. Oh yeah, look, there's a little path. Hooray! Okay. Oh, look at that. Here we are. Well, that was kind of fun, actually. A little exploration.
Home. You are hasty folk.
Oh, come on. Let's see. Let's see if we're saw-proof after all. I can't help myself. Let's see. I mean, if that one had been massively enormous, I would totally have given up. But it was small enough that, let's see, I'm guessing there's a lot of, like, forester material here. You arrive in Derndingle and it's clear that you are not alone. Yeah, I noticed that too. Heirloom tools? Really? Okay. Nice little Rohirric house, except they forgot the windows. There's meant to be windows in a house. Oh, corpse of nice Rohirric lady just lying in the middle of the... That's terrible. Oh man, this is a party. These archers. There's one thing you gotta say for wargs, you know, at least they don't shoot you from a distance. That is so annoying. Oh, and this dude's a captain? What was I doing here? Oh, that's right. Slaying you. Okay. And then you. And then I'm taking a break from slaying half-orcs. What a funny little hat you're wearing with those little decorative spikes. I mean, it's a little bit... Oh, come on. Seriously, the tedium. I'm regretting coming here. Do you have any active saws here? Look at that. Just having a nap. What is that? Gwelleronk? I got this piece of armor? Ooh, it's part of a set. Yes, thank you. Well, I mean, like, if I had... Oh, no. I did it again. Alright, well, I don't really need all of these. Arguably, I should put that there. Okay. And, I really need to clean my inventory. Oh, he's back. Boy, have I killed 20 of them yet? Feels like it. What, 4? For real? That was sufficiently tedious to have been 40. Okay. What was my gift for Carnimírië's memory? I didn't ever see it. Oh, 10 leaves. Okay. Alright, fine. I got all kinds of runes. I don't want this armor because I want to see if it looks nice. No. Let's see. I haven't worn some of these outfits in a long time. Alright, so... Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. So these are shoulders. Ooh. Oh, nice. Kind of like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. See, now I'm going to have to do them all 3 just to collect the armor. I think it was a banana peel, Drow. I think that's just it. How am I possibly going to collect all of that armor, though? I only got 1 piece. Oh, no, I'm meant to repeat it? Tell me I'm not meant to repeat it. In order to collect all the armor? Oh. That is so discouraging. Okay. Well, because that's totally it, right? Because this is repeatable, isn't it? All right, I'm looking for sawmills. Got some more tools over here. Oh, there's a saw. Well, it won't hurt you if it's just lying there, Quickbeam. Like saws of that kind, you know, they have to be wielded by things. 2 things, to be precise. Okay. Would these dudes drop tools? Yes, they do, just like the wargs. Okay, there's a sawmill over here. Hang on. Oh, I can't walk up the house. I keep forgetting. I've always wanted to walk up the roof of a Rohirric house. True confessions. Okay. Up we go, but in we... Oh, yes, we can go in. Yes, we can. Past the dead body. Sorry, folks. Okay, there's a mill wheel there. We've got, what is that, a fishing net? I think it is. What a strangely ponderous stone fireplace here. I mean, don't get me wrong. Really good idea. No, wooden sawmill not to just have lots of open flame, but... excuse me, I'm just going to take you out so I can explore here with a little bit more freedom, if you don't mind. Oh man, you're all like signature or elite or signature elite. I've never been able to tell the difference between these. The nomenclature there, I have to admit. It's never really made intuitive sense to me. Okay. Oh, look, somebody removed the saw blades. The Quickbeam didn't have a thing to worry about here. No, you don't. Mr. Archer, if you want to shoot at me, you gotta come around the corner. You're gonna come up from over there? Okay, fine, I'll come to you. Oh, look, we're having another party. Okay. That's good. Oh, look at Gryfflet's progress. He's 3/4 of the way to level 98 now. And hey, found some more tools. Only 3? Isn't there's no leader here? Okay, well, the sawmill is now 100% saw free, so I'm glad I'll be able to tell Quickbeam that everything's all right. Oh. Look at those orderly signs. This can't be an orc camp. It's a crossed hammer and butter knife? No. Canoe paddle? Yeah. No idea. What is that implement? Cricket bat. Could be a cricket bat. Alright, so I have to find the keymaster. Or is it the gatekeeper? Oh, look. Set of tools. These dudes are appropriately significantly less alert than the wargs. I think heirloom tools must be something like heirloom tomatoes. Stands to reason. Boy, these captains are a nuisance. I only attacked this one because there's a set of tools right there. They're in like a little heirloom tool satchel. Okay. It's a fetching little heirloom tool satchel. Like you'd expect. Okay. How do I know which dude has a key? I haven't seen any. Is there? No. I was thinking maybe they were guarding that house, which would be suggestive. Random archers and warriors. Random captains. There is no Dana, only tools. Hey, look. Tools in the... Oh, wait. The key warden. I found him. Okay. And I've got 5 tools now. Oops. Okay. Oops. Not at all what I meant to do, but that's okay. Oh, dear. Let's go over and join your friend the archer, can we? How about that? That sound good? Nice. Killed them both at once. Okay, and got key, yes? You acquired the key to the locked gate and can now confront those who reside within the enclosure, behind the sign of the hammer and cricket bat. We shall look and see what we see. Okay. Boy, it's crowded through here. There weren't half this many wargs in the library. Someday, it is one of my... Oh. Come on, seriously. By the time I kill this archer, like 8 other people are going to have wandered through the zone. I'm going to be through my 20 in no time at all. Okay. It's one of my life aspirations. You know, it's not high on my list of aspirations, I admit, which is why I haven't fulfilled it yet. But someday, I am going to understand the rules of cricket. It's one of my life goals. Because I don't get it at all. Oh, look, another saw! Yep. Nothing. Walked right through it. He was right. Okay. So we've got piles of wood to no one's surprise. We have... What are they picking up with this thing? That's a rock. I thought it was like a mattress or something. Okay. Yeah, I don't get cricket at all. At all. Edith, I do understand the infield fly. I could even explain the infield fly rule to you. That's the thing. Like, I'm a huge baseball fan. I love baseball. And so I feel like I really need to understand cricket. But in part, I think it's because I'm a baseball person that cricket just, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Oh, look. A named dude. I don't have a quest for the named dude. Shakal. Got all the walnut branches. Yeah, the infield fly rule is easy to understand. It really is. If there are men on first and second and the ball is popped up in the air, it's an automatic out, obviously. Though I was really mad earlier this year. I was watching a game and there were runners on first and second and the ball was popped up to the shallow outfield. Like, it was definitely in the outfield. It was like 10 yards into the outfield. And they called the infield fly rule and the guy dropped it and everybody would have been safe. But they called the runner out because of the infield, the batter out because of the infield fly. And I'm like, it wasn't in the infield. It was horrible. I mean, everybody survived, but still. Looking for more tools. No. Okay. I guess I'll fight Shakal. This archer is stalking me. Stop it. And I don't want you to aggro on me when I'm fighting Shakal anyway. How big a donation to Signum would we need to make a cricket game stream a reality? Hey, we should do that sometime. I can stream a cricket game and somebody can explain it to me, or I can just try to figure it out. Actually, that'd be even better. That would be even better. Yeah, I don't even know. I'd never thought of that as a game perk, but you know, as a donation perk. But I think that could work. If I were to just stream a cricket match, hoping that I could figure it out as I went, you know, that could work. Oh, archers. 2 archers. Oh, he just bled to death over there? That was nice. Thoughtful, even. Okay. Nobody, not a single one of them has been carrying tools. So you know what that means? More wargs are reading books than half-orcs are using tools. Would the NCC let us have a cricket game on site? Oh yeah, they wouldn't mind at all. Okay, well I guess I'm just gonna, let me have some more food, because I can. And probably should. And then I'll sneak up, and here's what else I'm gonna do. I'm gonna expose some weaknesses on Shakal there. And then I'm gonna try to devastate the archer from hiding. Oh, no, not with the caltrops. Seriously? Caltrops in this day and age? Can we back up here? This is much better ground, I think. I think we'll all enjoy it more if we stand over here while we fight. Oh man, Shakal, you're kind of a wuss. I'm not even going to need a heal. I didn't even need to stun you. Well, I completed the whole instance? Okay. Except I didn't collect the heirloom tools. Hey, somebody was carrying tools over there. I guess I just go around offing half-orc warriors until I find one who carries tools. But more importantly, did I get another piece of armor? Not yet. Oh, sorry. Half-orc warrior, am I ignoring you? Well, you didn't even have any tools. So what was the point? Okay. Yep. I'm just disappointed that no one in here is playing cricket. I mean, I had expectations. You know what I mean? Do you think that's what they could mean by heirloom tools? Also, is a cricket bat harder to use? I mean, so it always just struck me as very odd. I mean, again, I'm a baseball fan, so like using this honkin' big flat bat, you know what I mean? It's like, what, seriously, you guys can't make it work with a rounded bat? You've got to have this big old flat surface? I mean, is that tricky in some way that I don't know about? It just kind of seems like, you know, like one of those big fat wiffle bats that you buy for 5-year-olds. I don't know. It's just like... Yeah, I don't think they respawn. So somebody better have some tools. How can I score a century with a round bat? I don't even know what that is. That's... Right, it's permissible just to block the ball so it doesn't go anywhere. You mean like bunting? Not like a bunting that you hang on, but like to bunt. It's a present participle. So you can bunt the ball, where you just drop the ball down. But it's really difficult to do, you see, with a rounded bat. No, not like a bunt cake. I didn't see any more landscape-based tools. I mean, of course, there's like walnut branches everywhere you look. But, man, nobody's got tools. Seriously, come on, guys. Right, I can imagine that the flat portion would enable you to control the angle of your strike, but again, that's... It just seems to me not exactly like cheating, but, you know, you've got to control the angle of your strike with a rounded bat, too. It's just harder to do. Just seems like a cop-out is all. I'm just saying, that's what it seems like. I might be wrong, though. There could be some, like, it might be harder in some ways that I don't understand. The problem is I don't understand it. Okay. Seriously. There really were more wargs reading books than there are half-orcs doing anything useful with tools. I mean, these half-orcs wouldn't know an heirloom tool if they stepped on it, obviously. Walnut branches, walnut branches. I'm going to end up depopulating this entire campsite. I'm not just looking for landscape tools. Branches, branches, branches. I think I got all the landscape tools. Okay. Oh man, I'm out of time too. Come on. Can I get a tool-wielding half-orc, please? No. No, I can't. I am one tool away from finishing this instance. Have mercy, Lotro. Have mercy. It shows all of them as a potential tool resource. None of them are. I mean, the drop rate is apparently tiny. Yeah, no, all of them are. Show up on that quest. Okay, well, I did check the mill. I mean, I can recheck it, but... Yay! Woohoo! I found him! All right. Whew. This horse has been waiting here so patiently. Are these old fish, do you think? Or have the half-orcs been fishing? No, they couldn't have been. You know why? That requires tool usage. Okay, well, hang on a second. Do I have inventory space? I do not. Oh, man. Got problems. Oh. Give me a second here, Quickbeam. Man, I gotta fix my LIs too. Like all my LIs need reforging. Just trying to clear some inventory space here. Okay. All right, I totally did it, Quickbeam.
Stand now and
You were
listen.
right. Saws and axes do not hurt small ones. Yep. Totally immune. Woohoo! Oh, look at that. He almost got to 98. But I don't think I'm going to do the third one. Except how could I not? No, no, no. We're going back, man. We are going back. Except what barter items can I get here? Howard! Is that you, Howard? Will you barter with me now? What can I get? Oh, some recipes? Okay. Are these special? Are these like recipes that you can only get? But I can't send these to my cook who hasn't gotten the standing, right? Okay, what else can I get? It's all crafting recipes. Okay. Wait, that's it? I thought I could get a pet horn. Who will sell me a pet horn? Nobody will sell me a pet horn. Seriously, I get all these leaves and all I can turn it in for are recipes I can't use? Or like recipes my other alts who could use can't use? Quickbeam can barter too, huh? Okay. I didn't notice that. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You are far from home.
Oh. That's useful. Bundles of crafting materials. Knowledge of the Elder Days. Okay. Tome of the Fangorn Horn. Tome of the Black Horn with Honeycomb? Oh, I can't get those anyway. My goodness, you need a lot. Oh, are these home decorations? Oh, well, forget it. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. Well, Quickbeam, it's been real. But I think I'm done. How do I blow this popsicle stand? How do I escape? Is there any escape? How do I get out of Derndingle? How do we get back? There's a horn that takes me back? Here? Eastwards up the hill. Okay. Up this hill? No, that's northwards, isn't it? Oh, that dude. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I figured there was some kind of portal. Phew. All right. Well, that was easy. Okay. I gotta go, though, or else I'm gonna be in serious trouble. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. That was fun, and we finished I finished my internship, and now back to Treebeard, who's been waiting patiently, as is his wont, with Gandalf, who is less patient, customarily. But we will get back and finish up, maybe, Isengard next time. That'll be fun. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. By the way, next week is... two quick things before I go. Real quick. Nature of Middle-earth. We're going to be discussing the new book with brand new world-building material from Tolkien, so we can see what Tolkien was actually working on in those later days when he was not revising the Silmarillion. This book is super exciting. The first new Middle-earth Tolkien content that has been released in decades, so massively exciting. I'm going to be starting a discussion to read and discuss my way through this book with you on Wednesday, the 22nd, an auspicious day at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Zoom link should be posted on the Nature of Middle-earth page. Phil just posted that, so that's great. So if you click there should be a registration link for you to register. If you would like to join the live discussion, you can also watch on the Signum Twitch channel or on our YouTube channel as well. So that's going on. And New England Moot is happening soon. New England Moot on the 25th of September in Durham, New Hampshire, and the Middle Moot in Waterloo, Iowa on the 9th of October. Those are both coming up really soon. So looking forward to being able to see folks there. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you guys next week. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.